So guys, what if I told you that there's a strategy in Paladins that will make everyone in the realm hate you? If you had any friends before, you'll have none after playing this type of way. The strategy I'm talking about is known as Pirates. Yo my boys, welcome to another banger. It's your boy Zarini and I'm coming at you with another banger of a video. Today we're going to be talking about the most heated strategy in the history of Paladins. You've seen it before on my stream and on my YouTube. We're using 2 tanks, 3 healers. We're spamming our shields and we're using overpowered AoE healing. If you've ever screamed in frustration at your screen because of it, or wonder, hey, I want to make my enemies uninstall the game, this video is for you. Let's break it down. So what is exactly the pirate strategy? Why is it called pirates? I'm actually not sure. It's like a name has been given. I guess you could imagine the payload being a ship and you're all pirates standing around it. The important part is that it's a team composition that revolves around 2 tanks and 3 healers. Or it could be 3 tanks and 2 healers. It's all designed to abuse shield and sustain on the objective. The idea is simple. Just outlast your opponents and make them step onto the point when they have to due to overtime, and then just kill them. Unless you can hook them and kill them before. Here's how it typically looks like. You have tanks. Makoa, he's the star of the show. He just needs to be there. He's a great pirate lord and he destroys everyone. No, actually, it's just that his half shell is really good in the composition, and his hook gives you a very big pick potential, and they always need to be careful around it. What you need to focus on with Makoa is buying Kronos and Guardian. You also need to have Barrier Reef in your loadout, or like a similar loadout to what I'm showing right here. There's also another tank, or even a 3rd tank. Fernando and Terminus, maybe Atlas, are very good alternatives for a 2nd tank due to their shields. When it comes to healers, you have lots of good options. I really do enjoy having Furia with the beam talent. She heals like crazy and everyone is just standing in her beam. Nobody can die during the beam pretty much, so very strong. You also have the Grok with the totem talent. You get movement speed, you constantly have that healing. If the Grok rotates his cooldowns kinda well, like it's very hard to not have healing all the time from it. There's also Moji. Moji just AoE heals and gives shields to everyone. Absolutely crazy. Cannot kill anyone with Moji healing pretty much. I really also enjoy Mega Potion Pip. The AoE healing and the constant resets is just way too much. And if someone goes like to 10 HP or like maybe even let's say 100 HP, the Mega Potion healing with a shield for like a second, oh my god, saving everyone. There's also Io with the pet. The amount of healing she gets is actually surprisingly big. There's some other healers, but like Lilith, the problem with her is that she doesn't heal. Like she doesn't self-heal by healing, so she's actually becoming a target in this type of composition. So I don't prefer Lilith, though her healing is obviously very good. There's also Grover, who has on paper very good AoE healing, but his healing numbers don't turn out to be high enough. He does have pick potential though, but I prefer not to use him. The goal is simple though. You stand on the point, you use your shields, you heal to be unkillable and unmovable. If their tank is stupid enough to stand on point next to you guys, just kill him. He can't sustain you. There's no way a single tank or even 2 tanks from their opponents, if they walk on point with a Genos heal or let's say maybe a down by healing them, they will still die way before you. They can't fight you like that. And if they don't go to point against you, you just win, and you have your Makoa hooks to get kills as well. The most important part though, I can't state this enough, nobody walk the plank. This is basically a pirate term of don't go off on your own. Well, it's actually like not jump off the ship, but like, you know what I mean? You stand on the point. You don't run off on solo missions. If you go on solo missions, it needs to like actually make sense. If there's a target with 1 HP behind a corner and you have to run, let's say 2 or 3 seconds, it's not worth it. Don't do it. I think you can go for it in certain situations when you really have to, but The best way is just to stay compact and on the point and make sure nobody dies. It's also a very good idea for tanks to rotate their cooldowns and just have as little downtime as possible on your shields and also on your healing. If you somehow end up dying, it's super easy to regroup as well and go try to retake the point. Your opponents usually have 0% cap because you're all standing on the point. And when you're dying during pirates, it's very important that nobody leaves the point. Like, even if you have one person left, don't try to run away. You can't run away. Accept your fate. Die on the point, give them 0% capture when you die, and then you come back together. There's also a fun little side objective you can do. You can make friends with your opponents, like this Buck. He's a friendly guy. You can team up with him, like make him your good friend. And then, when the timing is right, you dive into combat with him. And, you know, he might be your friend for a little bit, but he'll still end up flaming you after the game. Now let's talk about why Pirates has earned its reputation as one of the most heated strategies in the game. The most annoying part is the unkillable team, with the constant healing and the shielding and everyone just feeling immortal. Even if you manage to focus one down, the other ones are still standing, and often there's a trade due to a hook or a mistake, and just the pirates are just still standing damn solid. It's very frustrating to counter. Pirates really punishes aggressive plays. If someone jumps into your team, they die. Tank or DPS, flank, it doesn't matter, they die. And then you force your opponents to either play perfectly with perfect peaks, hitting good angles, shooting at the correct time, breaking the shield, and then using a burst, hitting ultis together. It's just very difficult to play against. And if you can't win a fight, then you won't stand a chance against this composition. Boring gameplay. For someone who's playing or watching this composition, it just feels horrible. It's just all about standing on the point and holding ground, with very little action outside of that. You have everyone shooting the same corridor, but nobody's dying. But you know, some people like me, I really enjoy it. As a point tank, I love standing on the point, and having 4 other people stand on the point next to me, oh my god, it feels nice. And I feel like I have help all the time. And just imagine the frustration you bring to your opponents. Ah, it's great, man. Lack of counterplay options. If your team's damage is poorly coordinated, or you just spam your abilities and hope for the best, you're not going to get the picks, or rarely at least going to get the picks. And it can be downright impossible to break through the shields and the healing, and it's just incredibly frustrating. Imagine playing Siege and you end up against it, like in a random team, like against a 5-stack. Playing against a 5-stack is unbearable no matter what, don't get me wrong, but when they even have a strategy to take advantage of the situation, and you don't have a single counter pick, and it's just, you can't break it, you just lose as the game starts. How do you beat Pirates? Let's not lose all hope just yet. Pirates might feel invincible, but there's a few ways of countering it. Here's how. High sustained damage and burst champions. Like Tyra, you can throw Firebomb on point and it does a lot of damage, and the ult charge for Tyra is insane as well on top of that. Tyra on his own won't be able to break it, because you'll hit your Firebomb into a shield and it bounce away, or into like an Atlas shield and it'll be soaked up. And they can out heal your fire damage even. That's how crazy the healing is. So it's not like an automatic win, but it's a very good start. You also have Omen, mostly for his AoE things on the floor and his ultimate. You can burst the entire shield of Makoa. You can burst the point, you can get a kill if people aren't like careful enough. You can throw people around, but Omen can be picked off and he can die. Octavia is also a very good alternative, mostly due to her ulti and her generally good shield breaking abilities. She's very good at that, so it's always a good option. There's also shield breakers like Drogo's and Dredge that are perfect into melting these shields. I think Drogo's ult is one of those things that you need. Imagine like you're ulting and then you kill someone, but you die as Drogo's. You create the 4-on-4. I don't think Pirates is bad 4-on-4, but mixing it up, making it hard for them to sustainably stand there all the time if you can't break it normally. Getting a kill with a Drogo Sword is massive. There's also combustible, you can knock them around a lot, and getting the Makoa is massive. Makoa is like the most important character with the shield and like the little cooldown on the shield. It's absolutely broken in Pirates. The best counter by far though is using Willow and Dead Zone. Willow on its own doesn't do crazy amounts of damage to it. It does hurt a little bit. It's not a good wrecker, but putting Dead Zone on the point, making the Pirates have to leave point, that's the best thing you can do. They have to abandon ship and move around a little bit. There's also Koga with the Blood Reaper talent. You know, Koga doesn't do very well on his own against it when he doesn't have his ulti. The ultimate will break it kinda hard, and the damage is too high to sustain for the most part, unless there's a massive healer ulti that hits at the same time. But that's a very, very strong counter. There's also Sky, and Sky is in the same boat as Koga. Well, Sky does a lot of damage, but it's a lot of poison damage and you're gonna shoot a lot of shields, so the poison damage won't really do that much, and she's not very good against shield, and her ultimate, you know, it's kinda easy to dodge as well, so I prefer Koga. Coordination is the key to beat Pirates. You need really good team synergy. You need to focus fire on a single target and hit your ults together and try to burst everyone down. Remember, Pirates thrives on chaos and uncoordinated attacks. Don't give them a chance to do that. If you play Tyra and then you put your burn monster on the point and you charge your ultimate in like, let's say 30 seconds, if you instantly ulti, like your ulti might break some shields and you might do some damage, but if you use it on your own and then a little bit later one of your teammates has an ultimate and then they use it and then do the same thing on their own, you're not going to be able to break it. You need to do it together. You have to hit the Koga ulti and the Tyra ulti and the Ashe ulti at the same time. Like, make it really, really hard for them to sustain and stay alive during that. Try to break some shields before going in as well. Like, make them use their cooldowns before you go in. So, is Pirates actually a strong strategy? Not quite. I think it's strong, no doubt, but like any strategy in Paladins, there's always a weakness. The reason it's so hated is not because it's very, very effective. It just requires no skill to play. It's super easy, and when you play against it, you need to be way better to beat it. You need to play properly, you need to use your brain, and it makes people adapt to beat it. And let's be real, nobody likes to play against a competition that demands good teamwork to beat, whilst not really demanding anything to play as. The strategy has actually also been used in competitive play. I've run into it myself at the 2019 mid-season invitational event. I was playing for Sour Team back then with Perdo, Sheepa, Ninu and Lopi. We ran into a controller team named Elevate and they used it against us. We ended up beating it, but it was definitely the closest game in the series. I actually have a little clip from the game. It was the definite turning point. We were down 3-0, we held, and it was 1-3 and we yet to win a point fight. And yeah, check it out, boys.
Is the last person that you want to look at.
Damage chart, all 5 are blue. Up top there, Dragon comes ripping through. Maybe this will be able to deal with it. Oh my god, so much damage coming out from Perdo. Are there follow-up kills? Exodia is the last one to go down. Their healing is immediately cut in half. The Dragon, so much value. 2 kills, 3 kills for the Imani. Jopi and Nino each adding 1. That's how you answer the composition. You burn through their shields. You don't give them a chance to answer back.
And yeah, that's the story of the Pirates. What do you guys think? Have you ever run into this composition before? Or maybe you're guilty of running it yourself? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.